Finding myself on the way back to me. And honestly, God knows it hurts.
Hello, beautiful people. Let me not cover the mic, my bad. Welcome back to me, where I am consciously making the decision to continue to get back to myself every day, every minute, every second, every hour. Just keep doing it. And I am hoping and very thankful for you to allow me to be part of your journey to getting back to yourself, and really just allowing me to be a guide and a support for you. I'm very infinitely grateful for that. How you been? How you been doing? Yeah, I know. The world seems to be going nuts, right? It's been a week. What I have to say is, though the world seems to be feeling like it's going nuts, there are beautiful souls out there like you, like myself, that are grateful for one another, for ourselves, for divine, God. And I'm happy that I got to see another day, because I want to know what you're happy for. I want to know what you're thankful for. I'm thankful I got to see another day. I'm thankful for my health. That's wealth right there. That's priceless. I'm thankful for the sun and the sky. It was beautiful today. I'm thankful for the wind. I got to feel it on my skin. I could feel the wind. I'm thankful I could feel the wind. Imagine if you couldn't feel the wind or the sun on your skin. I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that I could smell. The air was clean. It was clean today. Clean. When we have tough weeks, remember, gratitude is a frequency changer. If you can just say out loud what you've been thankful for, even in a week that feels tough, that shifts up the energy and opens the door to new and better things. Things that are on a higher energy frequency level than the things you just endured. Right? Because it starts with you, it ends with you. You are the superhero in your story. And everything here is an energy. Don't let people lie to you. Don't be fooled and bamboozled by the bamboozle. Everything here is energy, baby. What you've been told, if you been told otherwise, a goddamn lie. Your superpower is what you think, how you act, what you say out your mouth out loud, and what you do. Everything in you holds energy. You are a ball of frequency and vibrations. And if you vibrate low, some low shit gonna happen. And if you vibrate high, some high things can come through. Even in an environment where everything else is low, which can be extremely hard, by the way. Don't get me wrong now, because we need support. We always need support. And in one of my last videos, I think it was my bonus video, I talked about external supports, more tangible supports as far as like a person. But something that I think I should talk about right now real briefly is we all have supports that we don't know in the unforeseen realms, because if you're religious or you practice a certain background, you may not have been told about this the same way. So what I'm talking about is spiritual. And it doesn't matter if you're religious or spiritual or not. This is just a fact. Okay. We have angels. We have guardian angels. We have, well, let me correct. I'm gonna go back. We have archangels. We have guardian angels. We have spirit guides. And our spirit guides can be people family members and friends we knew in the physical realm, or it could be family and friends that family specifically that we never met, so ancestors, or it could be ascended masters, divine masters, people who passed away, who were living at some point, divine masters could have been humans or other beings. And so like Jesus Christ would be a divine master. Right? He was a real man. Okay? We can debate all day, but I'm not here to debate. You know, you take it or you can leave it. Take what resonates, I always say that. But these are people who could be, or beings who could be our spirit guides. And then of course we know our ancestors, people of our lineage that would be years and years, hundreds, could be hundreds of years out. These are the people in the unforeseen that we can call on and support to help us when we're in an environment where everything is low, but we need that protection, because they fight for us in the seen and the unforeseen realms. That's how powerful they are, right? Don't sleep on that power and that support. Don't sleep on yourself and what you're capable of in this realm. Journey back to self allows you to become more connected to that, to those archangels, those spirit guides, those guardian angels. Don't sleep on that, because one thing is for sure: the realm we're in here is not just physical. Energy is real. Like I said, we're a ball of energy. Bad energy exists. Low, decrepit, grotesque energy exists. Do not sleep on the power that be. That seemed to have to come up because that's not what I was exactly going to talk about today. But it had to say, I guess I had to say it, so I said it. But take it or leave it. I hope you take it. You choose wisely. Anyway, today we're going to talk about love and respect. So we spoke about love before. And again, I'm going to just say this again, because every time I talk about love, I feel like I got to give this snippet. Love is the highest frequency. Now, I know people will say, what in the FFF? How can it be the highest frequency? First of all, love is the highest frequency because love is the foundation of all things. It is the ultimate law of life here. Through love, you can elevate yourself, you can elevate the world, you can elevate others around you, and you are connected to divine source, whether you want to call divine source God, divine source, the Almighty, the King of all kings. You're directly connected to the one being, person that created all things through love. Because what? Again, they say God loves unconditionally. So when we are tapped into a frequency of love, even unconditional love, we are tapped into God's frequency. Love can heal all things. The frequency level that love radiates at is powerful and can penetrate and heal all things. Yourself and anything around you. Your pet bobos. I call my dogs bobos. So it can heal your cat, your horse, your dog. And it's actually a source of energy that I believe in most healing practices we tap into as well. This energy frequency of love. Right? It's a beautiful thing. Right? This does not dismiss that in reality there are different types of love. So when people argue, how is it the highest frequency? I understand why you would argue that. I get it. I myself am not saying I've experienced the unconditional love and love that doesn't hurt. That's a lie. Because humans are imperfectly perfect people, and hurt people hurt the hell out of people. So I have definitely experienced love in a way that would make me want to say love also. But I've also on my own journey realized that that's not really going to serve me in the end. That is not God's purpose here for me or anyone else. And that is not what my angels and my ancestors died for. It's not anything close to what this is really supposed to be about. Which is why the power of perception is a powerful thing. Because your mind can distort you and make you think this is right. It's not. It's rooted in pain. And so when things are rooted in pain, there's a distortion. Okay? Because one thing is emotions and logic produce wisdom. Pain and hurt, fear and neglect produce more pain and hurt and fear and neglect. Because again, hurt people hurt people. So, no. There are different forms of love here. We have love here that is toxic. You hook the person up to the lie detector test. This is the example I always like to give. They may pass when they say, I love Tasha. But then it's like, Tasha is getting abused by this freaking blah, blah, blah. Because there's different forms, there's different types. A person can love you and it can be an extremely horribly toxic love. Right? Which one could say, if we're practicing understanding, this person most likely endured extremely toxic love, and another person is extremely toxic love, because generally these things are passed down traumatic behaviors and traumas. Sometimes people call it pathologies, generational curses. They're passed down. So when we practice understanding, we can give understanding to a person who not knows the exact crap they're doing, because they're not facing themselves at all and keeping it real with themselves. Because the truth is you don't know how to love properly. So your body can still grow an attachment to someone. You do not, sorry, I'm messing with the mic, my bad. You do not know how to love properly in the way that it would be the highest frequency of love. So when we think about what love is and how it can actually be healing, that's God's love. That's unconditional love. That's the highest frequency, right? I spoke about this unconditional love factor with God before in other videos, full-length videos. So that's a snippet of love. We talk about respect. Respect means if I say no, you get it and you stop. Respect means if I say I don't like this, or I need this, or blah, 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 you respect what I say. You go or you don't, right? Respect means you see me as a person and you don't try to step on me or over me. Respect, there's an aspect of respecting someone that really has a part of honoring them for who they are and what they say, okay, and what they do and what they don't want and what they allow and what they won't allow, right? So that's respect, right? Which means an aspect of love and respect, when we bring it together, it really requires boundaries, okay? It requires boundaries and communication. Love requires you to have boundaries and communicate. Respect requires you to have boundaries and communicate, right? Because again, most people are being taught how to love a person, okay? Because most of us don't know how to really love a person the way they want to be loved, or in a good way. Half of us don't even know how to love ourselves, to be honest. So it's really an interesting thing. It's really complicated. Okay, it really is. So both love and respect require boundaries and communication. If you don't know what a boundary is, think of it as like a stop sign, or like a wall that only activates if you come up to the wall and you listen to the directions on the wall to push the certain button to let the wall open up so you can go through it, right? It's basically the rules and the regulations of how you want someone to treat you, or what you don't want to allow, or what you want to allow, right? So someone's boundary might be, I don't want to ever hear you call me out my name. I'm not okay with that on any day. Period. This is not a compromise. This is a boundary. Because remember, a boundary is not a compromise. So let's get that clear. A boundary is just a boundary. I'm not saying you come onto this wall and it tells you what you need to do to open it, and you say, well, what if I just push this one and this one? Can we compromise on that? And the wall's like, alright, I won't open up today, but maybe 2 days later. No. You listen to the damn directions and you just follow. Because this is a person's line of respect. This has to do with how they want to teach you to treat them. This is communication. And sometimes we get too lackadaisical. There are people who compromise. Yes, compromise does not flow over to sacrifice. Compromise means sometimes I'm willing to work with you. Hence, sometimes I'm not willing to work with you all the time. That is not a bad thing. That should not be a problem. This is a boundary. Because again, people, this is true. There are times where we give a person an inch, they can take a mile. But that means because you're allowing it. You're becoming too lax with yourself. So I often like to tell people, it is great because when we talk about boundaries, we talk about how we need to have boundaries with others, but sometimes we really need to have boundaries with ourselves to uphold our own self with ourselves. To even uphold our boundaries with other people. And I think this goes back to similar to the bonus video I did last, where I talk about people really needing to face themselves. Sometimes we gotta check our own selves. This is a fact. We just got to. We just gotta do it because we just gotta. It's not a crime. It's actually probably really good you do it. However, I would say when you do it, do not do it with judgment, because that's just belittling yourself, and sometimes that belittling ourselves comes from a space of trauma and pain. You're not to belittle yourself. You are an amazingly, perfectly imperfect being. You don't need to call yourself out your name. You don't need to trash yourself. But you should hold yourself accountable. You should check yourself. Checking yourself is holding yourself accountable to the boundaries and the standards that is going to be best for you in your life. Right? Best for you on your journey to return home to yourself. Right? So this is where love and respect meet the need for boundaries and communication, right? And even creating these boundaries with self, right? Where let's just say you learned about yourself that, you know what, my friends always want me to go out every weekend, but I feel like I'm overextending myself. And so you create a plan where it's like, I'm going to go see them twice a month. I'm not going to stay out till 4 in the morning, Saturday to Sunday though. But I will stay out till 2. And then I'm going to have my Sunday and do what I need to do for myself. That's your boundary for yourself right there. You said you're going to hang out with your friends 2 weekends in a month. You're not going to stay out till 4 in the morning. You're going to leave by 2. So you can have time for you. Because you time is just as important as time with friends when we talk about being an adult, which can be a lot because most of us work ridiculously amount of times in the day, in the week. I mean, we work more than we don't, which is, that's a whole another side conversation. It's absolutely diabolical, but yeah, I mean, in hindsight, it's not, there's no balance in that, but it's not enough time to get the full balance. But that's just a side thing right there, a thought. Now, with that being said, if you're upholding that boundary with yourself and you find that, oh shoot, I went out 3 times this month with my friends and I stayed out till 6 in the morning 2 times. Why? There's nothing wrong with you not wanting to do it. So why are you not doing it? It starts with you and ends with you. You want something different, you gotta do something different. Hold yourself accountable. Practice understanding to understand why. And then we gotta figure out how to tighten up. Because this is for ourselves. And this is our journey back to ourselves. And we don't want to be people pleasing. We want to be pleasing ourselves. And guiding others. And supporting others. But supporting ourselves as well. And ain't nothing wrong with wanting time for solitude. Because one thing's for sure that I can tell you is the journey back to yourself and healing is going to take time where you have solitude. And you will find eventually that you get comfortable with space of being alone. Because in solitude, you find clarity. Many of us, when you're struggling and you're very disconnected from yourself, what we will experience is feeling lonely when we're alone. Feeling distress in our minds with our thoughts when we're alone. There's a reason for that. Your body's trying to tell you something. So when we're gonna listen? Because it's literally trying to tell us something. It's time to come home to self. My beautiful people, you are the superhero in your story. Whether you know it or not. And you get to choose to be. Which is another beautiful thing, right? It's like, who the hell said a superhero gets to choose to be a superhero? Well, we do. Okay? And we get to wield all this power, or we get to let it all just fizzle and bubble and do nothing with it. Alright, so I challenge you to choose wisely because this is your life, this is your story. And you're worth it. You're worth the change, you're worth the shift. You're worth the effort. Again, it is always nice to have supports. But please forgive me if I hit the mic because I'm getting used to this mic. it is always nice to have supports. So if you need professional supports, may that be a therapist, a life coach, a healer, a shaman, which is another form of a healer. People who are intuitives and mediums and psychics. Take what resonates. It's always good for us to get guidance and support, right? But those same abilities that many other people can practice, they got there too by connecting back to self and divine source, which means you're able to do the same. And this is what this is all about. I want you to come home to you and just to see how much of a divine being you are, because we're connected to a divine source. And it's a beautiful thing. And it's not demonic, and it's not devilish, because this is light energy. This is God energy. God is like the sun, light. I'm not working with darkness here. What the hell? No. All that other stuff is that other stuff. My soul is still connected, so I don't know what. This is working with divine source. This is not dark. Alright, this is healing. This is truth. Okay? This is divine guidance. So choose wisely. And you go out there and you be great. For you. Because you deserve it. You never had to prove that you deserve to be here. That's why you're here. Now get out there and connect back to yourself. Because that lost feeling, that emptiness, when you get back to you, all that goes. Because you understand the truth of who you really are. Which is a divine being having a human experience. We're powerful here. What we've been told is a lie. More and more of us are waking up every day, as we should, and I'm so proud to see that. And that gives me hope to see it, to know it, to feel it, to meet people. God is good. And is there anything I do know? I know that's a fact. Always. I don't care what anyone says. You can never tell me different. Period. But on that note, choose wisely again. And may this guide you on your journey. I truly hope it does. And I'm truly appreciative that you came here. Okay now. You have a good day now.